Before we start our presentation, I would like to introduce my group members, which is Afrian Shazani, Muhammad Faiz, Nur Atia Munira, Nur Iza Elena, and myself, Siti Zafira. Alright, this is the table of contents of our presentation today, which is start with the introduction and end with the conclusion. So I will pass to Muhammad Faiz to start the presentation today with the introduction.
Alright, so based on the My Health official portal of the Ministry of Health Malaysia, cosmetic products are products known as products that are used of the external part of the human body, such as skin, hair, lips, teeth, and also oral cavity. It is regardless of whether it is for the purpose of cleaning, perfuming, removing body odor, or protecting or keeping the body's exterior in good condition. These cosmetic products have been common for every woman to look more beautiful and attractive. However, at the moment, the reality is these cosmetic products are not only used for beauty purpose, but they are also used as daily use for hygiene purpose. So, in this day, there is no denying that technology is growing. Along with the development of science and technology, various cosmetic products have been introduced in the market. So, as a consumer, we should be more aware of the information that needs to be known before choosing a cosmetic product. Alright, the increase in the world's Muslim population has indirectly influenced and had a positive effect on the use of halal products. As a result, halal products and services are now gaining popularity and becoming the main choice for consumers, especially Muslim consumers. However, it is not limited to Muslim consumers only. Even non-Muslim consumers also mostly choose halal product as product for daily use, including food, health, cosmetic, and so on. So nowadays, it can be seen that cosmetic products are very popular product. This is because the demand for cosmetic products among Muslim women is increasing, where these products are usually aimed at female consumers. This, at the same time, encourage manufacturers to produce more cosmetic products to get higher results. Therefore, the use of the material used must be taken seriously to guarantee the safety of the product and to ensure that cosmetic product is halal for use by Muslim consumers. A report issued by MITI in 2013 states that Malaysia halal entrepreneurs have the potential to penetrate the global halal product market, which is currently estimate to be worth 2.3 trillion. At the 2010 International Conference for Halal Cosmetic and Grooming Equipment, Deputy Minister of International Trade and Industry at that time, Datuk Mukhlis Mahathir, mentioned that Malaysia has the potential to emerge as a hub for halal cosmetic product in the world. This is based on the country's environment that is rich in natural herbal ingredient that can be developed as the main ingredient in the manufacture of cosmetic products. So this method should be able to open the eyes of local entrepreneurs to see the great potential of halal cosmetics market both inside and outside the country. So among the popular cosmetic products are lipstick, face wash, moisturizer, cream, mascara, eyeliner, eyeshadow, and so on.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Atia Munira BTM Amin, and I will continue the presentation with acts related to cosmetic. I will present 4 acts. The first one is Poison Act 1952, Act 366 and Regulation. Second is Sales of Drug Act 1952, Act 368 and Regulation. Third, Control of Drugs and Cosmetic Regulation 1984, and lastly is Medicine Advertisement and Sales Act 1956, Act 290 and Regulation. The first act is Poison Act 1952, Act 366 and Regulation. This act aims to regulate the activities of importing, processing, manufacturing, compounding, storing, transporting, selling and using poisonous substances listed in the act. This application The application of this act applies throughout Malaysia as far as it relates to poison. Second, Act 366 provides for the control of the handling of poisons, including medications administered by practitioners, registered medical, registered dental practitioner, licensed veterinarians, and pharmacists, and materials chemistry for industrial use, research laboratory, domestic, and mining. This act has provided for the requirement to keep and maintain records for the sales or supplies for poison. This is to facilitate if in any situation that involving for the quality and safety of medicine that require for the act of recalling. This record is also a monitoring mechanism on the accountability and integrity of the seller or supplier in the sale or supply of poison. No person other than a person licensed under this act in that behalf shall import any poison from any place outside Malaysia. In section 32, penalties, mention that the penalty imposed for those who violate this law can be a fine of 50,000 or imprisonment not exceeding to 5 years or both. Second, uh, Sales of Drug Act 1952, Act 368 and Regulation. Okay, this act was enacted with the aim of establishing Malaysia as a drug-free country to guarantee the well-being of the community and the stability of the country. Okay, the terms of drugs are defined in this regulation as any substance, product, or article intended to be used or capable, or purported or claimed to be capable of being used on humans or any animal, whether internally or externally for a medicinal purpose. Okay, in this act, general penalties are enacted with reference to subsection 2. Anyone it's divided to two kind of penalties, individual and organization. For individual is if anyone found guilty or involved in any offence covered by this act may be convicted with a fine not exceeding 25,000 or imprisonment not exceeding 3 years or both. But if convicted as not a first offence and subsequent, the offender may be sentenced to a fine not exceeding 50,000 or imprisonment not exceeding 5 years or both. For penalty for the organization that commit to this offence can be fined not more than 50,000, and if they do it again subsequently, they can be fined not more than 100,000. The third regulation is Control of Drugs and Cosmetic Regulation 1984. The terms of cosmetic was defined in this regulation as any substance or preparation intended to be placed in contact with the various external parts of the human body or with the teeth and the mucous membranes of the oral cavity with a view exclusively or mainly to cleaning them, perfuming them, changing their appearance, or correcting body odors, protecting them, or keeping them in good condition. Okay, in this act, at Regulation 3, mentioned that the organization that are involved in drugs and cosmetic need to establish a drug control authorities, and in these authorities they should consist a Director General of Health, Director of the National Pharmaceutical Control Bureau, consultant physician, pharmacist, expertise in pharmaceutical science, medical practitioners, and veterinary practitioners. Mentioned in Regulation 18A(1), no person shall manufacture, sell, supply, import, possesses any cosmetic unless the cosmetic is a notified cosmetic. It is an offence for anyone to conduct such activities without notification to the Director of Pharmaceutical Services. Okay, for the third point, Part 3, registration and license. Uh, Regulation Regulation 7B, presumption relating to register product. As mentioned in this regulation, when a product refers to an existing registered product, the product shall not be deemed to be a registered product if the product contains any ingredients other than the ingredients of the existing registered product, or if the product is labeled with a label other than a label of the existing registered product as approved by the authority. Uh, Second, Regulation 8, registration of product. Mentioned in this regulation, any changes in any document, item, sample, particulars, or information mentioned in sub-regulation 2 shall be notified in writing by the applicant to the authority within 14 days from the date of such change. And lastly, in regulation 12, mentioned about license. Every license shall be personal to the licensee name in the license and shall not be transferable to another person. The last act is Medicine, Advertisement and Sale Act 1956, Act 290 and Regulation. In this act, advertisement was defined as any notice, circular, report, commentary, pamphlet, label, wrapper or other document, and any announcement made orally or by any means of producing or transmitting light or sound. At section 3, mentioned about prohibition of advertisement relating to certain diseases, mentioned that subject to this act, no person shall take any part in the publication of any advertisement referring to any articles or articles of any description in terms which are calculated to lead to the use of that article or articles of that description as a medicine, an appliance, or a remedy for the purpose of the first one, prevention or treatment of the disease and condition of human being as specified in the schedule. Second, practicing contraception among human beings. And third one is improving the condition or functioning of human kidney or heart, or improving the sexual function of sexual performance of human beings. Okay, this means that any advertisement that related about kidney function or heart disease, sexual function are prohibited. Also mentioned in this act, any advertisement proposed to be published by be submitted to the Medicine Advertisement Board for approval in the manner provided for by regulation made under Section 7. The last one, Section 6E, mentioned about penalty for obstructing or impeding an authorized officer. mentioned that any person who obstruct or impedes an authorized officer in the performance of his duty under this act can be fined not exceeding 3,000 or imprisonment for any terms not exceeding 1 year or to both.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Zafira and I will continue the presentation today on the regulatory bodies for halal cosmetic. In the halal cosmetic industry, these are the authorities who are responsible for ensuring the industry player meets Taliban halal standards and halal criteria. So among them are, which is firstly is the Ministry of Health, or for short is MOH. So, MOH is the government entities which cooperates with JAKIM and foreign halal certification. Generally, Ministry of Health is responsible for the health system, including public health, health management, and others. So, MOH has the power in monitoring the hygiene, safety of the cosmetic product. By that, MOH has established the agency which called NPRA, which I will discuss later, specifically for handling the cosmetics and pharmaceutical industry that will comply with the regulations. Um, in the matter of cosmetics, it the products only can be proceed for halal certification from JAKIM after they obtaining confirmation from NOH, or which are specifically NPRA. So that means the product will be evaluated beforehand. So indirectly, it can be seen that MOH is participates in assisting Islamic business by approving cosmetic products. So the next one is National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, which I has been mentioned, NPRA. Okay, NPRA is the agency under the Ministry of Health, and it was established to implement quality control on pharmaceutical and cosmetic products. So NPRA are responsible for ensuring the quality, the efficiency, safety of the pharmaceuticals and cosmetic through the registration and licensing scheme. While in the concept of halal cosmetic, NPRA focus on health and safety of the product. Thus, the categories are safe, allowed, and safe for consumption, allowed with limitations, and others. Okay, the third one is JAKIM. Okay, we know that JAKIM is the competent authority in Malaysia that stipulated by law for halal certification, and their roles is administering halal, issuing halal certification, and others. So, JAKIM plays a vital role in providing accurate information about any related business information and issues of halal cosmetic product, so that it will it to help consumer makes decision in the selection of safe cosmetic products and increase consumer confidence in the quality of the cosmetic products. So furthermore, when once the cosmetic product has been certified halal by the authority, so the halal logo will be displayed on the packaging of the product, right? So from that, it can be a significant marketing tools for the Muslim consumer to convince them that the product has been manufactured accordingly to Islamic requirement and absent from harmful and hygienic ingredients. And it also important for non-Muslim to believe that the products are produced in a safe and sanitary setting. So the next one, regulatory bodies is KPD and HEP. So KPD and HEP or the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, they are the agents that are responsible for enforcing the law by facilitating to protect the consumer. So their roles are to develop policies and strategies in halal tagging and halal presentation. If we can see that the main halal-related law for KPN and HEP jurisdiction is under the Trade Restriction Act 2011. That we know that halal order, like, right? So it's this authority is dependent on Jakim and Jain to enforce the fraud and forgery of a halal logo or halal presentation that is directed at irresponsible parties. So KPHP has power to take action for a halal cosmetic industry that forge consumer about its product, maybe about the ingredients or the marketing is fraud the consumers. And lastly is standards measure. So Department of Standard Measures is the national standards for accreditation body of measure. So generally their functions is to promote standard, to standardize the industry and others. It also to protect the consumer, facilitate the domestic trade and others. Select Malaysia has been developed a guideline to make sure the manufacturer and related industry has complied with the requirement that has been set. So we can see everyone knows that for the halal cosmetic industry, the standard that they need to comply is Nation Standard 2634 2019, which is contains the requirement for the cosmetic industry that must be complied with. So this guideline has been used by JAKIM as the basis for the certification, like there has been stated in NPPHM 2020 that they should follow and following the requirement of the MS in order to get the certification, halal certification.
My name is Nur Izzah Ilyana binti Zainuddin, and I will present about the issues in halal cosmetics. The first issue on halal cosmetic is halal certification. Halal certificate is a statement provided by an Islamic organization with the authority to confirm that the product complies with the halal standard established by Islam to ensure that no haram substances have been mixed in the product. When a product or business get the halal certificate, then they can use the halal logo on their products to inform the consumers and customers that their products are verified. However, halal certificate is voluntarily not mandatory, but if the business or the products apply the halal certificate, then it can give trust to Muslim consumers, especially for halal cosmetics product. So, the first issue in halal certification is the local company hard to get certificate and it becomes challenges to the manufacturer due to the difficultness to get ingredients that have been certified and verified, which is limited stock and sometimes not enough. This becomes an obstacle for them to get the halal certificate because among the requirements that are needed is the document about the raw materials and ingredients that used in the products. The ingredients must have been certified halal and safe. This is because cosmetics products use ingredients from sensitive and risky sources. As a continuation of the issue, cosmetic products manufacturers have taken risks by using fake halal certificate and logos to gain the Muslims' confidence and trust and also make more profit. Although the ingredients used in the product have haram ingredients such as swine gelatin and use more alcohol than the percentage allowed by the authority. If this happens, it can give negative and bad impact to the Muslim consumers.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Afrina Shazali binti Muhammad Azhar. I'm going to continue the presentation about the issues in halal cosmetic products. So the second issue is about the use of animal's placenta in halal cosmetic products. Okay, first of all, what is placenta? Placenta is temporary organ that connects the mother to the fetus. transfers oxygen and nutrients from the mother to the fetus, and release carbon dioxide and waste products from the fetus. So basically, placenta is part of the uh, animal's body. Okay. Secondly, why is there is a need to use animal's placenta, as an ingredients in cosmetic products? Because it has its own benefit. So, um, placenta have various nutrients including carbohydrates, proteins, fats, amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So this is all the benefits that contains in the animal's placenta. So that is why there are the need to use this animal's placenta in the cosmetic products. Okay, so what are the functions of placenta? To help promote tissue growth, reduce signs of aging, which means anti-aging, moisturize the skin, reduce the pigmentation and black spots on the face. So this is why. So this is what is placenta, and why is it become one of the ingredients to in the cosmetic products. Okay, so after we understand what is placenta and its benefits, so now we need to know, is it placenta halal and permissible to use in cosmetic products, especially for Muslim consumer? Okay, so placenta can be get from two part, which is from human or from animal. So from human, the scholar said human placenta is prohibited to avoid exploitative practices that violate the dignity of the human body. So therefore, it is prohibited to use human placenta in cosmetic products. Secondly, animal. Hukum for hukum for the placenta of animals is divided into two according to the condition of the animal. The first condition is if the animal is slaughtered in a Sharia way, then the placenta can be used for medical and beauty purposes. Secondly, if the animals not slaughtered in Sharia way, then it's illegal. It's prohibited to use for medical purposes or cosmetic or beauty purposes. However, in emergency situation or in darurah situation, it can be permissible to save the emergency. For the next point, which is perspective on animal placenta use in halal cosmetic products, there are two perspectives, which is the first one is legal perspective and second one Sharia perspective. Let's look at the first perspective, which is legal perspective. Okay, it's regulated by the National Pharmaceutical Control Bureau, Ministry of Health Malaysia, or KKM, Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, allowed to obtain approval to be on the market based on the evaluation criteria for safety and quality aspects. Here, meaning that it is allowed to use animal's placenta from perspective of KKM, because according to KKM, consumer can use the any cosmetic products that contain animals placenta because it's proven to have lots of benefits and functions, and it's safe for human consuming. So, but in Sharia perspective, regulated by the Malaysian Islamic Development Department, JAKIM, it's not allowed to obtain halal certification because it contains impure materials and contradicts with the requirement in MPPHM, Manual Procedure Halal Malaysia. So here, what we can understand from there are two differences perspective. Um, the products that contains animals placenta can get certification by KKM, Ministry of Health, but cannot get JAKIM or Halal certified because it's proven that it has its benefits. It's proven that animals placenta has its own benefit. But for in sharing our perspective, for Muslim consumer, it's not halal certified um, because it contains impure materials and from the source to get the animal's placenta. Therefore, for Muslim consumers who wants to get halal cosmetic, uh, make sure to go for halal cosmetic and not get and make sure to be aware of ingredients in the cosmetic products as a Muslim consumer. So that is all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, this halal certification needs to be applied for and verified by authorized bodies such as JAKIM and NPRA for halal cosmetic to ensure that there is no fraud on the halal certificate and logos if the manufacturer intended to apply certificate by follow the regulation and requirement needed by the authorities bodies. There are also several responsible parties who plays very important role in halal cosmetic. First, industry or supplier. They must use only halal raw materials and sources to facilitate the management of halal certificate application. And for manufacturer, they need to ensure that all the requirements that have been set in the cosmetic halal scheme. And lastly, for consumers, they need to ensuring that the products used on a daily basis are safe, clean, and free from any materials, and also ingredients are not halal before use to avoid any problem in the future.